Living on the coast is about people, places and their passions.
Combine all those and it's a pleasure, it's my honour to be here.
I was amazed. I had no idea it was as big as it was.
We just seem to forget the importance of our own backyard.
The shark nets cover around about 2%.
He's loving that.
It is impressive, I think so.
I guess my passion to drive tourism to greater heights.
Come on kids, I've got more! I'm buggered.
Although Australia is still a very young country, it's very rich in history. Early pioneers used to go out, explore and settle in regions all over Australia. Kangaroo Valley is one of those regions. It was host in the 1800s to lots of farms and industry. Now along with those farms came about 1,400 settlers who all needed their general store, a school and a church. Now all these things made up the rich tapestry that is Kangaroo Valley. And to find out more about the history, we've gone to the Kangaroo Valley Pioneer Museum to check it out. Sheila, tell me a bit about your role.
I'm one of the trustees. Here we have a board of trustees of 7 members and they report to the Department of Lands, and we're all volunteers and we manage the property and look after the buildings.
Why is it so important to have the property here and the buildings here?
Well, I think it's something that can't be replaced, and when it's lost, it's gone forever. So what we're trying to do is maintain the history of the valley and the first people who came to the valley, and for children and for people who had family here in previous times.
So Garth, tell me about your role in the Historic Society here.
Well, at the moment I'm the president of the Historical Society.
So with the museum, what sort of things can someone expect to see here?
Well, we've tried to keep as much of the past as we can, and we're really looking at the horse era through to just the beginning of mechanisation. We haven't got any real modern things here. We're trying to keep those that are given to us and preserve them.
What was the importance of Kangaroo Valley to the early settlers in Australia, or in the early years of history in Australia?
Well, I think the dairy industry was the first, but then there was the horse industry. There was a lot of horses growing here for the carriage market, and so the Irish loved their horses. So it was horses, cattle. It's always been too wet for sheep, but it's been the cattle industry, beef or dairying.
What do you think is so important about the museum?
Just to put things aside for the future. It wasn't until the 50s that we started to collect things. That might sound a long time to young people, but we need to put things aside. We need to put them there to remind the wonderful work the pioneers did.
So Garth, I just noticed this machine, this is obviously something to do with corrugated iron.
Yes, this is a very old one, turned by hand, but you just put your flat iron in there and it rolled it out as corrugated iron. It was a very old piece and one of the very, very early ones. And yep, so there's your corrugated iron, and iron was probably the main roofing source